So hi, good evening everybody. Once again, this is Bishwajit Datta, Director Success at Education Services, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. Welcome to the channel Clatologist. For more videos and for more educational videos particularly, and that is wholly connected with CLAT, please do subscribe Success at Education Services, the Clatologist. This particular session is absolutely going to be for the students who in future would be preparing or maybe planning to prepare for CLAT 2024 or 25. I'm just trying to make the mind of the students, try to convince the students that the paper which you think is tough is not actually tough, but the presentation of the paper is such that it creates a perception in the mind of the students that the paper is tough. I'm coming the exact sample paper, in fact, one of the questions, some of the questions of the sample paper, just to make people in future to understand what exactly the CLAT is going to be. So I'll try to pick up the similar kind of questions from the actual sample papers of the CLAT consortium, just to make all the people understand. Then these videos are absolutely for the educational purpose. This video is absolutely going to help you align your mind, will give you an understanding to take up your decision properly, whether to go for this particular exam or not. Hope I can give you the best of the services with respect to CLAT 2024, for CLAT 2025 as well. We'll try to understand the pattern of the paper which the consortium has recently announced, and based on that, you are able to figure it out what exactly the paper is going to be for the next year and the year after next. All right. And before that, I request you, all the students and all the people who feel like getting similar kind of educational videos that would enlighten your understanding towards law, that would create a sensitivity in your mind that you would be getting inclined towards law and would probably take law as a subject to study, law as a subject that would create a career for yourself, and law as a subject that would enlighten to you to understand what is exactly happening in the country and what are the basic needs that the country should carry with to make a better place for every one of us to live in. So just have this particular passage in front of you. This is the sample that I have taken from the recently announced question paper by the CLAT consortium. Just have a look. I'm just going out of sight so that you can read this particular passage properly. If you wish, I can read the same, not a big deal. Do you unmindfully forward unverified market tips on WhatsApp? What is market tips? So what comes into mind after reading this line? Do you unmindfully forward unverified market tips on WhatsApp? The habit could land you in trouble with the Securities and Exchange Board of India, that is SEBI, which is responsible for all the regulations associated with stock market. So it wouldn't matter even if you received the tip from someone else and you were just forwarding it. You can also be penalized even if you have not used the tip to make money. This is what the latest orders passed by SEBI in the WhatsApp leak episodes signify. Last Friday, SEBI imposed a fine of rupees 15 lakhs each on 2 senior employees working at Antique Broking for their involvement in the WhatsApp leaks. Both the executives at Antique were part of several WhatsApp investor groups where insider tips were being exchanged. The tips largely dealt with probable earnings of various companies and other new developments. They used to forward these tips to their clients who were institutional investors. Some of the predictions turned out to be precise, which has now landed them in trouble. The message included sales report of several blue chip companies, including Axis Bank, Asian Paints, Wipro, and Mindtree. Such tips are known as unpublished price sensitive information, that is called as UPSI in legal parlance, and refer to any company information that has not been disclosed to shareholders yet. Lawyers say most individuals think it is harmless to share such forwards with their peers over WhatsApp, even if they don't intend to make a profit out of such tips. However, handling, discussing, sharing, or using UPSI directly or indirectly, this is a very important line, itself is a violation of the rules. In this case, the executives argued they did not know that the source of information came from the company insiders. They also claimed that a lot of predictions they forwarded turned out to be false, but SEBI brushed aside those arguments. There is a rule of thumb to decide if the information is UPSI or not. If you have got it from public media, such as newspaper, or a TV broadcast, or even a public Twitter post, or a stock exchange filing, there is no problem in sharing it with others. However, if you have received it through private means, which include closed WhatsApp groups, any personal chats, or even phone conversation, you need to be careful handling such data. Now, this is a very important message also at the same time. You could think about a situation that we keep on, posting a lot of, WhatsApp messages from one particular group to another particular group, just as a matter of fact that we want people to have such important informations. Maybe that is going to help them out sometimes. But these are very sensitive information that you're sharing, because people may come in trouble, thinking that information to be correct. They may presume that whatever information that you are giving in the WhatsApp message may be true, and based on that somebody may invest a lot of money and finally come into trouble. So this is something has to be stopped. That means this particular kind of act is considered as a wrongful act. You would be knowing of this fact that when we study, in fact when you start studying law, you start with a very conceptual beginning with studying with law of torts, where we talk about law of all the wrongful acts. In fact, you also know that the consortium is not asking you that you need to have a legal knowledge before getting into this particular test called CLAT, agree, because it is consortium who is saying so. This particular information does not require anybody to have the knowledge of this particular subject beforehand in order to go for writing this particular passage. What I believe that you know that there are certain elements that are going to be very important in the passage, and if somebody in the class have discussed the similar kind of things, then this would give a clear-cut picture in the mind of the students that this thing could come in the paper, and I may be very much prepared for this. If you ask me, this is basically a general knowledge. So what does an institution do for the, what does an institution does for the students when they bring them at a place and start working for this particular exam called CLAT? In fact, if you ask me what we do, we basically make people aware of what is happening in the world, in the country, in this particular field with respect to law. Why we are regulating different variety of laws from time to time. What are the different amendments that we are keeping, that we are adding, sometimes we are subtracting for the welfare of the society. What social calculations are, and how those social calculations are understood by the panel, by the people who have the knowledge of this particular subject. It is not that the mathematics are the only calculations. How to run a society, how to regulate the conduct of the people in a society, how to regulate the business in the world, how to regulate a particular business in a world. We need to have a particular variety of laws in that. So you could understand that this is a very important part where people sometimes come into trouble just because that they are passing information from one group to another in the WhatsApp form. तो सेबी ने कड़े प्रावधान किए कि आप कभी भी बिना जाने, बिना सोचे, बिना समझे कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन को पास नहीं कर सकते, because when you do that, then you are doing it at your own risk. So whatever that cost you have to pay for it. Sometimes you may be compensating with a lot of money, and sometimes you may be imprisoned for that. तो आप नहीं कर सकते हो. तो साफ साफ लिखा है, you can also be penalized. तो ये मैटर नहीं करता कि आपको कोई टिप मिली है और आपने उसको फॉरवर्ड कर दी, आप नहीं कर सकते. इट वुडंट मैटर इफ यू रिसीव द टिप फ्रॉम समवन एल्स एंड यू आर जस्ट फॉरवर्डिंग इट. आप नहीं कर सकते हो ऐसा, एंड यू कैन बी पेनलाइज्ड फॉर दैट. और जितनी सारी इंफॉर्मेशन सेबी की, जितनी सारी इंफॉर्मेशन सेंसिटिव इंफॉर्मेशन होती है, वो आप तो बिल्कुल नहीं कर सकते हो. सेबी साफ साफ मना करता है, आप नहीं भेज सकते हो। आपने यदि किसी को भेजा, भले उस व्यक्ति ने उस इंफॉर्मेशन को यूज नहीं किया, तब भी यू आर वायलेटिंग सर्टेन लॉज, यू आर ब्रेकिंग द लॉज, और उसके लिए, उस वायलेशन ऑफ लॉज के लिए आपको पेनल्टी मिलेगी। इसके अंदर एक बात और इंपॉर्टेंटली कही गई है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज इनसाइडर्स इंफॉर्मेशन। नाउ यू नो दैट देयर आर सर्टेन पीपल हु आर इन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन at a very respectable position, at a position which is full of authority, and they have each and every information as to what is happening in the company, what the company is going to do tomorrow, what the company is going to do day after tomorrow, in a week time, in 1 month of time, and so on. They have all those informations. See, to run a business, to run a company, to run an organization, you need to interact with people. Some way or other way, you do talk to people. So it is the responsibility of all the people who are working in an organization to keep that honesty, right? Somebody who is breaching that trust, somebody who is breaching that honesty and try to pass on that information to somebody whom he knows is going to pass on to different number of people, a lot many number of people, thereby those people may invest in the company and get a very good return. And why this man is passing such informations? In order to get certain amount of bribe out of it. That insider information is not at all permissible by the authority, because you are at a position which is having too much of trust and dignity. So you cannot break that trust, you cannot breach that trust. So it is expected. तो यदि कोई भी इंसाइडर इंफॉर्मेशन किसी के पास आती है, तो ये उस व्यक्ति की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि वो इंसाइडर इंफॉर्मेशन को पास नहीं करे, वो वहीं तक स्टॉप हो जाना चाहिए। एंड यू शुड ऑल्सो टेक केयर दैट यू शुड नॉट बी एक्टिंग अपॉन इट। तो यदि मान लीजिए कोई ऐसा इंसाइडर टिप आपके पास आया एंड यू पास्ड ऑन टू समबडी, देन यू वुड बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द वायलेशन ऑफ द रेगुलेशन। तो इस पर्टिकुलर पैसेज में यही है कि आपने यदि ऐसा किया है, देन इन दैट केस यू आर नथिंग डूइंग बट यू आर वायलेटिंग द रूल्स। अब इसके ऊपर एग्जामिनर कुछ 4-5 सवाल बनाएगा एंड ही वुड बी गिविंग यू 1 by 1, और आपको उसमें अपना नॉर्मल अंडरस्टैंडिंग लगाना है based on what is given in the passage. As simple as that. You could see this is a very factual information given in this particular question. You can read it and you can probably be able to understand what is to be done after reading this question. Suresh is a stock broker. I'm just getting a little out from the board. Suresh is a stock broker and works at Dalal Street Stock Broking Limited, a big stock trading firm based in Mumbai. He is also a member of a WhatsApp group that other residents of the building where Suresh stays have set up called Our Building Group. Usually members exchange information about the building, other events of importance to residents. However, Suresh has this information relates to a company whose shares are being traded on the stock exchange, publicly available yet. Public domain में नहीं है। Mahesh reads this information and huge profit. Claims that Suresh has violated the ruling related to UPSI. Suresh says he shared the information on the Our Building Group by mistake and is therefore not guilty of breaking the rules. Is he right? क्या सुरेश सही है? सुरेश जो बोल रहा है वो सही है कि नहीं है? That's it. आपको ये समझना है। देखो इसमें लिखा है the information is related to a company whose shares are being traded on stock exchange and is not publicly available. If something is not publicly available, then how would somebody be able to trade it? That means वो कहीं से सेंसिटिव इंफॉर्मेशन के थ्रू आई है, उसको मैसेज मिल गया है, पता लग गया है कि भाई इसको मैं खरीद लूंगा तो मेरे को काफी फायदा होगा। सो देयरफॉर सुरेश ने डेफिनेटली यहां पर सेबी की गाइडलाइंस को तोड़ी है एंड ही हैज ब्रोकन और वायलेटेड द रूल्स ऑफ यूपीएसआई। देयरफॉर आपसे पूछा जा रहा है कि क्या सुरेश ने गिल्ट किया है या इससे सुरेश का गिल्ट पता चल रहा है? तो सुरेश सेज ही शेयर्ड द इंफॉर्मेशन ऑन द आवर बिल्डिंग ग्रुप बाय मिस्टेक। अब यहां पर वो सॉरी जैसी सिचुएशन में भी आया कि मैं सॉरी बोलता हूं या गलती से मेरे से वो शेयर हो गया, गलती से शेयर हो गया, क्योंकि यूजुअली आवर बिल्डिंग ग्रुप में जितने सारे लोग थे दे यूज्ड टू शेयर सच इंफॉर्मेशन एंड इज देयरफॉर नॉट गिल्टी ऑफ ब्रेकिंग द रूल्स. इज ही राइट? सुरेश इज नॉट राइट. अब नो में आपका आंसर आएगा. इफ नो में आपका आंसर आता है तो आपके पास बी और डी दोनों आता है. Now out of these two you have to find out the right one. What B says? No, since Suresh had shared UPSI on a WhatsApp group with the other members of the group. Or D बोल रहा है no, since the other building group was not created to share UPSI. This is nothing to do with this. So therefore the right answer is this. No. Is he right? No, he is not right, because he shared a very sensitive information in a WhatsApp group, and thereby he is absolutely going to be liable for the violation of the rule, because SEBI says that even if you are getting that information, you have no right to share. Whether somebody has acted upon it or not does not matter. You have no right to share that information in any group, in any public domain, if it is an UPSI information. So this is the answer for this question. I hope you understood that. Now let us go to the next question. This is what I have. Ever since he had made a profit by buying and selling the shares of the company that Suresh had messaged about, Mahesh had developed a keen interest in the stock exchange. He subscribed a various WhatsApp group where people share information about shares in companies. One day he receives a tip based on some UPSI on one of these WhatsApp group. He decides to return Suresh's favor and forwards the tip to Suresh. SEBI has been keeping a close eye on Suresh, and when they realize that Mahesh has sent him this tip, SEBI decides to take action against Mahesh, claiming that Mahesh has violated the rules relating to UPSI. तो आर दे राइट? बिल्कुल राइट है. अब राइट है तो दो ऑप्शन है, ए एंड बी. दो नो है तो नो तो हो ही नहीं सकता. सो देयरफॉर दिस इज रॉन्ग, क्योंकि यूपीएसआई वाले इंफॉर्मेशन महेश तक पहुंचे. महेश को शेयर नहीं करने चाहिए थे. उसने शेयर इसलिए किया, उसको लगा कि मेरे ऊपर एक एहसान है सुरेश का, तो मैं उसको चुका देता हूं. तो शेयर करना ही नहीं था उसको. शेयर करके वो गिल्ट में चला गया. तो अब देखते हैं उसमें से बेस्ट कौन सा होगा. पहला बोल रहा है यस, सिंस महेश शुड हैव वेरीफाइड द इंफॉर्मेशन बिफोर फॉरवर्डिंग इट टू सुरेश. मतलब यहां पे ये बोल रहा है कि वो लाइबल तो होगा, लेकिन महेश ने चूंकि वेरीफाई नहीं किया, उसको वेरीफाई करना चाहिए था. देयर इज नथिंग लाइक दैट. Yes, since Mahesh has shared UPSI with Suresh on WhatsApp, so he should be absolutely responsible for this. So therefore the right answer is B. मतलब ये इस प्रकार के क्वेश्चंस है. Anybody can do it, frankly speaking. Anybody can do it. बस थोड़ा सा हिम्मत करके ध्यान से चीजों को लाइन बाय लाइन पढ़ना है आपको. And if you think that you are able to communicate yourself with the understanding of what you have studied, then I think you are able to figure out the answers of the questions. Come to the next question. Look at this. Ganesh is a friend of both, matlab Suresh and Mahesh, and stays in the same building as them. Ganesh, however, is very wary of the stock market and prefers not to deal in shares. One day he receives and an invitation to join a WhatsApp group from Mahesh. Acha. Mahesh calls Ganesh immediately after sending him the invite and tells him that the members of the group that he has invited Ganesh to join regularly exchange UPSI on it, which would help Ganesh make a lot of money. उसने उसको मैसेज किया, लिंक भेजा और फटाफट फोन करके बोला बहुत सारे मेंबर्स इसको ज्वाइन करेंगे, आप भी ज्वाइन कर लो, आप खूब पैसे कमा पाओगे. Ganesh, however, refuses to join the group and deletes the invitation. SEBI, however, decides to take action against Ganesh, saying that by simply receiving the information to join a group where UPSI is shared, Ganesh had broken the rules relating to UPSI. Is SEBI right? See, this sort of thing has not actually defined in the passage. भाई मेरे पास कोई नोटिफिकेशन आता है, मैं थोड़ी ना रोक सकता हूं मेरे पास कौन सा नोटिफिकेशन आ रहा है उसको. And then obviously I need to check what that notification is. Then whatever decision that I have taken would decide my intention. Whether I have acted upon it, my action is going to decide what my intention was. So here Ganesh has not at all participated in any of the transaction, in any of the transportation of message. So as a result उसको SEBI नहीं कर सकती. यहां पर SEBI राइट नहीं है. नो में मेरा आंसर होना चाहिए. अब मेरे पास बी और सी में से दो है. अब देखते हैं. बी बोल रहा है नो, सिंस गणेश वॉज वेरी वैरी ऑफ द स्टॉक मार्केट एंड डिड नॉट डील इन शेयर्स. तो ये वाला तो जान ही रहा है कि वो डील नहीं करता है, इसीलिए उसको घबराहट होती है, डर लगता है, वो नहीं करना चाहता है। अगला वाला बोल रहा है नो सिंस गणेश हैड नॉट एक्सेप्टेड, बिल्कुल सही बात है, क्योंकि उसने एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया इन्विटेशन को टू ज्वाइन द ग्रुप एंड हैड नॉट रिसीव एनी यूपीएसआई, उसने एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया, जब ज्वाइन नहीं किया तो इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं आई, जब इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं आई तो लाइबिलिटी किस बात की बनेगी। सो देयरफॉर इन दैट केस द राइट आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर सी। नाउ यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड कि कितना सिंपल लैंग्वेज में इसको लिखा गया है। इट्स ए वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन एंड हैव not demanded any prior knowledge to go for this question, but if you have the understanding of the activities, how does a stock market work and how people get deceived by so many people who inform with such sensitive informations, and in every second you feel like earning some money out of it, because of that the regulation is made like this. Now come to the next question. Ramesh also stays in the same building as Suresh, Mahesh and Ganesh, and is also a member of the our building group. He has a keen interest in company law and regularly follows market news to understand the area better. He joins a WhatsApp group called Company Insights at the invitation of one of his friends. The members of the group share their opinions about various companies on that group. These opinions include their subjective comments on news events relating to various companies. When SEBI find out about this group, they decided to take actions against all the members of the group, including Ramesh, claiming that they have all violated the rules relating to UPSI. Has Ramesh violated the rules relating to UPSI? क्या रमेश ने कुछ भी शेयर किया? नहीं शेयर किया। नॉर्मल किसी चीज के बारे में डिस्कस करना, यू पार्टिसिपेट इन डिस्कसिंग certain relevant issues on a particular company, certain information, certain news on a particular company, relevant issues, something that has not restricted by SEBI. Had SEBI been restricted that you cannot talk about, right, any stock market issues of a company, then in that case आप consider करते हैं, पर ऐसा तो कुछ बात ही नहीं हुआ. So normally this has gone. तो has Ramesh violated the rules? Absolutely not. तो नो में मेरा आंसर होना चाहिए. अब नो में देखते हैं कि कौन सा आंसर है. पहला बोला नो, since the opinions shared on the group were subjective and did not include any APSI. I think this is the most viable one. फिर भी बी वाला देख लेते हैं. No, since only the group administrator should be punished, not all the members. भाई पनिश की तो बात ही नहीं चल रही, हो ही नहीं सकता. Because nobody does any wrongful act, nobody has violated any of the rules as prescribed by SEBI, so therefore none of them are responsible for any of such actions. And now the last one of this particular passage. Come to this. Dinesh, Ramesh's brother, holds a very senior position at a large company whose shares are traded on the stock exchange. Since he holds such a senior position, he has access to a lot of information before it is disclosed to the company's shareholders. One evening, Dinesh visits Ramesh for dinner. The two brothers share a few drinks before dinner. Dinesh gets very drunk and mistakenly blurts out some information about the company that is to be announced to the shareholders of the company 2 days later. The next day, Ramesh buys some shares of the company based on the information Dinesh had revealed the previous evening. He later sells the shares for a massive profit after the information is announced to the shareholders of the company. SEBI decides to take action against Ramesh for violating the rules relating to UPSI. Is Ramesh guilty of breaking these rules? मेरे ख्याल से आपको समझ में आ गया होगा. आंसर यस में होना चाहिए. दिनेश इंटॉक्सिकेटेड था, इनवॉलेंट्री बोल दिया, उसको नहीं पता था कि वो जो बोल रहा है वो गलत है, पर जिसको बोला उसके पास वो इंफॉर्मेशन गई और वो यूपीएसआई इंफॉर्मेशन है, उसको आगे शेयर नहीं करना चाहिए, उसको उस पर एक्ट नहीं करना चाहिए. उसने एक्ट किया, देयर बाय ही हैज बिकम रिस्पॉन्सिबल, लाइबल. अब यस में मेरे पास दो ऑप्शन है, सी एंड डी, दोनों में देखते कौन हो सकता है. यस, सिंस दिनेश हैड वायलेटेड द लॉ बाय गेटिंग ड्रंक, मतलब दिनेश यदि वायलेट किया है इसके लिए रमेश लाइबल क्यों होगा? ऑफ कोर्स नॉट. रमेश लाइबल इसलिए होगा बिकॉज रमेश हैज ऑल्सो एक्टेड अपॉन इट. तो ये तो नहीं हो सकता, ठीक है ना, थोड़ा सा गड़बड़ हो गया. और डी वाला बोल रहा है यस, सिंस द इंफॉर्मेशन दिनेश हैज रिवील्ड वाज यूपीएसआई, सिंस इट हैड नॉट येट बीन अनाउंस्ड टू द शेयर होल्डर्स ऑफ द कंपनी. भाई दिनेश ने जो इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर करी है वो यूपीएसआई इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर करी है, जो कि अभी भी कंपनी ने अपने शेयर होल्डर्स को अनाउंस नहीं किया है, और वो किसको पहुंचा? वो पहुंचा है रमेश को, एंड रमेश हैज एक्टेड अपॉन इट. Since Ramesh has acted upon it, so therefore Ramesh is absolutely liable for such act. इसको थोड़ा सा और ठीक करना चाहिए था, बिकॉज इसमें बेस्ट ऑप्शन अब यही है. बोला yes, since the information Dinesh has revealed was UPSI, since it had not yet been announced to the shareholders of the company. Now look at this. Why would Ramesh be liable for this? Because यदि मेरे भाई ने मेरे को information दिया है, मेरे पास अब वो information है, तो मैं क्या करूं? If somebody has given to me that information, तो ये जो ऑप्शन है ना, this is only because I don't have any other options to be correct for this particular question. रमेश यहां पर लाइबल इसलिए क्योंकि रमेश उसमें एक्ट किया है, या यदि रमेश उसको पास ऑन भी करता है, किसी को भेजता भी है, तो भी रमेश लाइबल होगा बिकॉज ऑफ द फैक्ट दैट इट इज एन यूपीएसआई इंफॉर्मेशन. बाकी ये जो ऑप्शन है, ये ऑप्शन उतना सटीक ऑप्शन नहीं है. मतलब आप कह रहे हो कि क्या रमेश वायलेटिंग यूपीएसआई, वायलेटिंग सेबी रूल्स के लिए लाइबल है? यस. क्यों? क्योंकि रमेश ने उस इंफॉर्मेशन को आगे पास ऑन किया. ये ऑप्शन वो नहीं कह रहा है, ये बोल रहा है कि यस, सिंस द इंफॉर्मेशन दिनेश हैज रिवील्ड वाज यूपीएसआई, सिंस इट हैड नॉट येट बीन अनाउंस्ड टू द शेयर होल्डर्स ऑफ द कंपनी. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज, दिनेश ने यूपीएसआई इंफॉर्मेशन को रिवील किया और ये यूपीएसआई इंफॉर्मेशन रमेश तक पहुंची, और रमेश को पता चला कि ये यूपीएसआई इंफॉर्मेशन है, दैट्स इट. बट चूंकि पैसेज के अंदर रमेश ऑलरेडी एक्ट कर चुका था उस यूपीएसआई इंफॉर्मेशन को आगे यूज करके, दैट वुड रेंडर रमेश टू बी लाइबल टू बी गिल्टी फॉर द वायलेशन ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर रूल ऑफ सेबी. सो इन दैट केस द बेस्ट आंसर राइट नाउ इज ऑप्शन नंबर डी. नाउ यू कुड सी दैट द क्वेश्चंस आर वेरी डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस, डज नॉट हैव any twist and turn. So if you understand the simple language of the question and a small background knowledge of every issue that is happening in the present day society, all the contemporary issues that are happening in the world of law, all the contemporary issues that are happening in the society to make a society a better place to live in, I think you would make an opinion about it. You could become judgmental. You would be able to judge things. I'm sure that you are able to judge things properly at times, that नहीं ये हो सकता, वो नहीं ये हो सकता, and this way that would create a logical sense of understanding on various questions that could be made on a particular passage. And this is what the legal reasoning part is, and this particular part is nothing but the latest format of legal reasoning section issued by CLAT consortium. This is just a highlight to make all the future aspirants, particularly the students of 2024 CLAT or 2025 CLAT, which the students of 10th standard would finally come over a period of time to take up their career into this particular section. This would help you guys to take a decision making mind that yes daddy, yes my mom, I want to go for it. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि ये बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है, ये मैं कर लूंगा, मेरे से बनेगा. आई एम नॉट वेरी मच ओके विद दोस मैथमेटिक्स, I am not very much okay with physics, chemistry, that typical technical kind of process that I need to be into it for the next 2 years to get into IITs or triple IITs or NITs or into medical and so on. मेरे लिए ये बहुत perfect है, and I'm telling you, you will land up with an equivalent performance, you will land up with an equivalent status with those people who would be taking difficult subjects in life to get into some better options as a career. I'm 100% sure that this would reveal this fact that there are a lot of things in the society that somebody who is in the middle of the ranking in the school or is in the lower of the ranking in the school is able to figure it out. नहीं, मेरे लिए भी कुछ ना कुछ options है, and I'm very much able to, I'm very much capable of doing that particular thing. And I think this particular understanding will help you to reframe as to what is to be done for the next 2 years of time, for the next 1 year of time, because this is how somebody should take up a decision. क्योंकि किसी भी career option को बनाने में थोड़ा सा time लगता है. You need to have certain amount of time to make yourself absolutely prepare for any competitive exam in the country. India is known for competitive exams. So this was all that we have today. I hope you would understand. I will take similar pattern of questions from the actual sample papers to make you, finally understand that this is the real fact. You may ask me a question, sir, you must have taken a very simple type of passage to make ourselves, understood that this is a very easy target and you are able to achieve it. No, I'll give you some good number of passages that would make you an understanding. After having an average reading of all such passages, you will be able to take your decisions. So this was all that we have today. Thank you so much. May God bless you. CLAT 2023 aspirants, you can apply for mock test papers, completely 30 different mock test papers, completely new, made for you guys to make a practice. To call us to get those CLAT mock test papers. And also for CLAT 2024 and 25 aspirants, we have initiated a new batch in order to go for CLAT 2024. People can join that in the online as well as in the offline mode. If you think that we can be a good team, call us at 93296 20356. Thank you so much. May God bless you. Bye bye.